Live from Chicago Stadium tonight, it's the Celtics and Bulls in Game 3 of the best-of-5 series. Good evening, everyone. This is Gil Santos, along with my regular season broadcast partner, Bob Cousy. And joining us for the playoffs from the news at 10, Bill O'Connell. The Celtics lead it 2-0. They can win and wrap it up tonight. Coos, what kind of a game can we expect here?
Bill, I'll tell you, we're going to have to fasten our seatbelts. It's really going to be a wild one. I think we're going to have a very physical game. The third game, or the elimination game, potentially, of a series like this will create that, because the team that's going to be eliminated throws caution to the wind. So the Celtics came out kind of casually on Sunday. If Chicago decides to try to climb the hill one more time, we're going to need the complete, full commitment.
All right, and Bill O'Connell, I know you had a chance to talk to some of the Chicago people earlier.
That's right, Gil, and I don't think you're going to see them play the same kind of a game they had the first two. I talked to Tex Winter, the assistant coach, and I got a definite feeling you won't see Michael Jordan go for 64. Let's roll that tape. You'll see what I mean.
Tex, obviously everybody wants to know, and maybe there's no answer for, maybe he can't answer it, but can Michael Jordan stay up where he is for a couple more games?
Well, I think the important thing as far as Michael Jordan's concerned, in fact, I visited with him a little bit about it, and as far as the Chicago Bulls are concerned, of course, is that we try to win the basketball game. I think Michael really has demonstrated that he's a one-on-one, probably as fine a basketball player as we've ever had in this country. At least one of the most creative offensive players we've ever seen. I've been coaching for 40 years, and I have never seen anyone that can do the things that can create offensive situations the way Michael can. But the important thing, it's still a team game. It's still a five-man concept as far as we're concerned with the Bulls, and Michael preaches this all the time. He'd much rather win the basketball game than to score a lot of points, I assure you.
Well, everyone was saying that they felt that at least at Sunday he got the 63 within the flow of the game, that he wasn't certainly disrupting anything.
Well, he did pretty much, Lee. He was having he was not having a sensational shooting night. I think he shot a little over 50%. He put up a lot of shots, and that's the thing about Michael. He has the ability to create so many shots. He's going to take more shots than most people, whether it's in the flow of the offense or individually, because he does have so much talent. It's a very fine line. The thing you have to do, of course, is to make certain the other people are involved in the offense, if not shooting-wise, certainly rebounding-wise and screening-wise and so forth.
No, this is not the grand opening of a musical extravaganza. It's the introduction of the Chicago Bulls. They turn all the lights out in this place, and then they bring the starting five out. Charles Oakley and Orlando Woolridge are both out there. The Bulls are starting Dave Corzine at center. There he is. Good outside shooter, but not a real good inside player. Orlando Woolridge has been playing just a bit below his average against the Celtics. So has Charles Oakley. Here's Kyle Macy, and now the roar will be for the fabulous Mr. Jordan. Well, Coos, you know, there really aren't a lot of things that we can add to or say about the spectacular performance of Michael Jordan in the first two games of the series.
You know, what is fresh in your mind, I suppose, has more impact. I was not only a spectator, but a participant when Elgin Baylor did his magic against us in 1962. Elgin had 61, and I remember going to Satch Sanders after the game and saying, Satch, I know he got 61. You feel badly. In my opinion, I think you did a hell of a job defensively and made Elgin work for all his points. I don't know if that can be said, but the two situations can certainly be compared. It just seems like Michael Jordan was even more spectacular. I think he stamped, with that performance on Sunday, he stamped an identity for himself, for the American sporting public, that will last him a lifetime, literally. It was that impressive.
And the crowd will erupt when Jordan touches it. Now they're ready.
That's what they did in the first game. He's completely isolated on the right side.
Spectacular move. Michael Jordan ties the game at 2.
Just doesn't have the foot speed, the mobility, agility, anything else to cope with McHale. He's going to have to make a switch pretty soon.
6 points so far for Kevin McHale. Jordan, very fancy.
Oh, wow.
He only gets 2 out of it. The degree of difficulty, maybe should have gotten 3.5. McHale 17-8, 9-point lead. This is their biggest of the game.
I'll tell you, he's got Corzine on McHale because he claims he's in a better position of muscle him. Fine play by Jordan. Step between the two defenders, made an off-balance job, but that's becoming commonplace for him. But in tempo, still working in the Celtics' favor, Gil. When the two teams start going to their bench, obviously a fast tempo game is going to help the Celtics a great deal more.
Dennis Johnson picking up Jordan very early throughout this game. Jordan straight away three-pointer. Three-point basket for Michael Jordan.
Extraordinary. That's got to be discouraging to Dennis. He guessed right on the penetration, and it should have been a charge.
Ball. Jordan so far has 9 points here in the first quarter. McHale getting rid of the double team. Jordan slaps it out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Jordan is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. God, what a talented kid.
Oh, he's just a great, great player. Out of Macy and to Michael Jordan. There's Dennis Johnson waiting for him.
Not a good shot there by Danny. The defense was there. You should never take a three-pointer unless the clock's running out when the defense is in position.
Orlando Woolridge on the slam dunk, and the foul is on Larry Bird, his second personal, the third on the Celtics as a team.
Let's take a look. McHale makes a cardinal sin there. He leaves the man under the basket to trap Jordan. You know, let the closest man on top come over and trap. You need a quick trap on Jordan, but you can't leave Orlando Woolridge under the basket to go out there on top. So it might be affecting him.
Those were the first 2 points of the game for Larry Bird. Celtics have an 11-point lead. Jordan on the rebound. 29-20. Ahead it comes to McHale, but it's knocked out of bounds by Orlando Woolridge.
Well, he does. They've beaten Chicago 100-74 on the boards, and they continue to do it here in their backyard. Again, tonight they're capitalizing on that advantage by pushing the ball up quickly, but they haven't done that.
Count the basket for Jordan. His foul is on Dennis Johnson, his first personal foul, and Jordan will be at the line to shoot one.
Meanwhile, this kid still is doing his magic. I'll tell you what, Kyle Macy said in the paper today, do you think Michael will do better than he did on Sunday? And Kyle said, well, no, but we certainly expect him to hit his average.
Which is 56 points a game.
Yeah.
Two for, well, I don't know, John. How many years is it now?
107.
I thought we're 104 or 5 right around there. Johnny, what did you think of the first half? Did it go about the way you expected?
Well, the way I hoped, anyhow. But I think that there are adjustments that have to be made on both sides. And in Boston's case, what they were doing, the way they adjusted to Jordan is they jumped out on him on a double team very suddenly. They didn't come right out on him and give him a chance to think of what he wanted to do. But with maybe 12, 14, 15 seconds on the clock already elapsed, they suddenly would jump a big guy out on him. Either Bird or Walton or Parrish or McHale. They jump out on him very suddenly and make him do something else. And frequently his passing was a little bit shoddy, and they were able to capitalize on that. They picked the ball off a number of times.
The other side, the big story, Michael Jordan has been held, if you will, to 14 points in the first half, and he has picked up 4 personal fouls. He sat out the last 5 minutes of the first half. The rest of the individual ends, they immediately double-team Michael Jordan all over the floor. Dennis Johnson picked him up, all over the floor, and as soon as he got the thing within 20 feet of the hoop, the Celtics came out and double-teamed on him, and it has been very effective. It's knocked him off his rhythm. It's halftime in Chicago. The Celtics in Game 3. Could be the last one. Lead it by 14.
Case, 14 points and 4 fouls on Michael Jordan. You've got to be pleased with that first half of action. Also, it appeared you were trapping Michael earlier, forcing him to get rid of the ball. Is that so?
Yeah, what we wanted to do was trap him wherever he was so that he could not get started and get the crowd going and get those big points as he did the past 2 ball games. So we wanted to trap him, make him give it up, and then try to deny him getting the ball back.
And force the other guys to beat you.
No question about that, yeah, but we didn't want Paxson driving to the basket and getting those easy layups. Also, starting this half here, we'd like to get one more foul on Jordan so we can get him out of the ball game because he can explode at any time.
Tell you, another half like that, and we can kiss goodbye to Chicago. Go get him, Coach.
Boston by 14. Bird off the pick. Open shot. No. Rebound. 2 Chicago Bulls are there. Michael Jordan comes away with it. Jordan with a NBA record 63 points in Game 2 gets his first basket of the second half.
They got a little lazy that time. They didn't find him early. They didn't pick him up. They didn't collapse behind, and that's all Jordan needs to take advantage of it. Scouting reports or whatever, because to minimize the Celtics' quickness is a mistake.
Walton with a block on Chicago's Jawan Oldham. Ahead to Ainge, stolen by Michael Jordan. Jordan on the baseline, double pump, it's blocked again. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Jordan off to Green for the stop.
Too little, too late, I'm afraid.
I think so. Robert said, well, if you don't want to pay attention, I'll take a shot.
I'll tell you.
First basket for Michael Jordan in a long time.
Don't on Walton inside. So no diminishment in their intensity level despite the 26 or so points they've got.
Jordan trying to come up with a steal. The ball is slapped away. Johnson tipped it, and Jordan picks it up. Michael Jordan, open court, whips it low. Oakley lays it in. Chicago has cut the lead to 22 with 7 minutes to go, and the Celtics want a timeout. Timeout on the floor with a score. The Celtics 107, Chicago 85. But they've got more than that in standing room as well. Celtics are just 2 for 8 in this quarter. Chicago 6 for 10, as they have made a little run, cutting the once Celtics 30-point lead down to 22. But a foul is called here on Michael Jordan, a technical foul as well.
Well, that's too bad because, you know, again, given what this youngster has accomplished in this series, let's take a look at the play first. Wedman's going to move in here instead of Pick. Let's see if Wedman moves. Well, point is, Michael is saying that he did move, and that's why they call the technical. But once again, when you're 22 points down at home in front of 19,000 partisan fans, you just can't blame the officials for it, you know. But hey, it's frustrating, and they're the easiest guys to pick on. So
on the free throw, Walton getting it to Seestein. Seestein fires up a 20-footer. No. Rebound. Michael Jordan. He comes back up court for Chicago with 6:20 to go. Banks all the way. So the Bulls are putting on a mini spurt to make the score a little more respectable. Chicago gets the Boston lead down under 20 points for the first time since early in the third quarter. It's a 19-point lead right now. Johnson being pressured by Michael Jordan, and a whistle and a foul on Jordan, and he will foul out of the game. That is it for Michael Jordan. He has fouled out. He should get a tremendous ovation for what he's done in the series, and he is. A standing ovation for Michael Jordan. Now tonight, he was held to 19 points. He had 10 rebounds and 9 assists. The standing ovation is for what he did in the first 2 games, and it's well-deserved, Goose.
No, it certainly is. You know, the young man isn't much more. He missed 64 games this year, so he's not much more than a rookie at this point. Obviously, you know, he's got a little maturing to do in terms of his overall talent and game. Tonight, he just seemed to be a little over-anxious. This is the hardest I've seen him work on defense in these 3 games. So I think his over-anxiousness and inexperience caused him to perhaps pick up some fouls that he wouldn't normally pick up. But I'll tell you, he more than broke Wilt Chamberlain's 3-game playoff record. 131 points in 3 games. I think Wilt was, what, about 116?
Wilt was, 116 is right.
So, you know, it's just had a magnificent series, and he's getting a well-deserved acknowledgement from the Chicago fans here.
So Michael Jordan is fouled out, and, you know, to tell it the way it happened here tonight, he was never really a factor because of the Celtics' tremendous team defense on him.